In this video, we're having a look at the Orico 97 series multi-bay Type-C external storage direct attach solution. Hi, I'm Lee. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. That was a bit of a mouthful, I will admit, but so to put it simply, this is a box that you put a whole bunch of hard drives in and it makes it into one big hard drive. That's effectively how this works. A couple of things to talk about with this direct attach storage device. To begin with, the price. They have 3-bay ones and they have 5-bay ones. This is the 5-bay one that I'm reviewing. The 5-bay one is $189 USD. So that's about $300 Australian, give or take, maybe a little bit less. A few things about the specs in terms of what it can take. It can take 5 drives, as I said. It can take solid state drives or standard drives. I'm using it at the moment with standard drives, but I did test it with a couple of solid state drives as well. It can store up to 110 terabytes of drives, so that's 5 22 terabyte drives in there. That's not what I've got, obviously, because I don't have those kind of drives handy me. I've just put 5 3 terabyte drives in there. They say you can get read and write speeds up to 250 megabytes per second, megabytes or megabits. I can never remember which it is, but it's the bigger one. And it comes with a USB-C cable, but it's got a USB-C to USB-A adapter on it. One other thing to keep in mind is you want to plug this directly into your computer. The reason for that is when I tested this at first, I was getting really low transfer speeds when I was doing speed tests and even copying files onto it. And what I found was that it was because I was plugging it into a hub to my computer. Now, it shouldn't make a difference, but for some reason it did. And so when I plugged it, not with the USB-A cable into my hub, still should be a USB 3 adapter, but when I plugged it into the USB-C port on the front of my computer, then I got much better speeds. We're talking, I was getting like 34, 38 transfer, and now I'm getting like 360, 340, somewhere around there. Now, very important is this is not a hardware RAID, so the box itself isn't creating your RAID array, all the drives being seen as one or working as one. It basically is a box that allows you to plug in all those drives, but you do need to use software RAID, so you need to use your computer to tell your computer that it's going to use all those drives as a single drive. The instructions that come with this do show you how to do it on Windows, but the instructions don't show you how to do it on a Mac, so I thought I would show you how to do it on a Mac. So here we are with Disk Utility on my Mac, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to File, and then I'm going to go all the way to the bottom and say RAID Assistant. So I tap on that, so I click on that, and now you've got 3 options. You've got striped RAID, which is RAID 0, you've got RAID 1, which is mirrored, and then you've got JBOD, which is just a bunch of drives. So RAID 0, which is the first one I'll do, I'll go through all of these for you so you can see how they work. RAID 0, or otherwise known as Scary RAID, will take all of those drives and make a big drive the size of all of them put together, but there is no redundancy. So if any of those drives fails, the whole thing fails and you lose everything. So you get the best speeds out of that and the best performance, but you're taking a big risk is that if one of those drives dies, you lose everything on all of those drives. But we'll set that up first. Then you have mirrored RAID, which what it'll do, it'll mirror the one drive across all the other drives. So I've got 5 3 terabyte drives in there. It'll only give me 3 terabytes worth of storage, but it is backed up onto 4 other drives. And if I lose anything, I've got basically 4 backups of it. Again, this is one of the challenges with software RAID is that I could use another fancier application to set this up, and then I could say, right, we'll use 4 of the drives and only use 1 as backup and so on and so forth. But this is what you get just built in with the Mac, just with system preferences. The other thing to keep in mind is that software RAID, I'm not going to go into all the details, but it's not as robust generally as hardware RAID. Having said that, the drives, you know, this bay is only $189. Physically, something that I thought I'd point out, it's really, really light. So it's very, very light to pick up, not a lot of weight there. In terms of noise, it does have a fan, so it definitely keeps the drives nice and cool. You do hear the fan. They say it's silent. It's not silent, but it's definitely not. It's not really loud. It's not really quiet. It's somewhere in the middle. It's tolerable, but I mean, I think you could even hear it maybe. It's just sitting on the desk sort of here in front of me. I don't know if you can hear that, but yeah, it does sort of, it does make a noticeable noise with the fan. Not as much though if you're using solid state drives, because the other noise that you're hearing is the spinning of the physical hard drives. But now let's get back into this and let's go ahead and create a striped RAID 0. So just let's go next. It asks me which drives I want to use, so I go ahead and select all the drives that I want to use. Then I just tap next, I give it a name, so I'm just going to call this RAID 0, scary, and it shows me that it's going to be 15 terabytes in size. And chunk size, I just always go and make chunk size the biggest. That's because for the best performance, choose a chunk size that matches the size of the data you're accessing. So if it's bigger data, smaller data, but yeah, I just generally sort of make it the biggest. I don't know if that's the right way or the wrong way. Let me know down in the comments. And then it warns you that you realize that everything on these drives is going to go bye-bye now. So it will erase everything that is on those drives. You go, yep, I don't mind. And you just say, go ahead and create, and it goes ahead and creates that. I'll just talk a little bit about the physical specs of the device. So it feels solid, but it is very, very light. So, you know, it's exceptionally light. So getting your drives in is really easy. You just push down once, pops the lid up, and then you have these caddies. And really easy, just pop the screws on either side of there, and it holds the disk in place. If you're using SSDs, there are screws down there to hold your SSD in place, and then you just slide the caddy with the drive back in when it's set up, and that's all there is to it in terms of getting those in. And as so happens, that has now completed, so we go ahead and we say, right, we're ready with that. And now let's bring in our speed test and do a quick speed test on that and see how fast that is. So we go ahead and select the drive. There we go, RAID 0. And let's go ahead and do a quick test on that. And there you go, we're getting about 320, 330, give or take. And keep in mind that the quoted speeds that they said is you should get at least up to 260. So when we've got it set to RAID 0, with Scary RAID, we can actually get speeds that are better than what are quoted. But again, I wouldn't suggest using RAID 0 unless you've got all your data that you're going to be using on this backed up somewhere else, because again, if one of the drives fail, everything goes bye-bye. The reason why you might want to do that is, let's say you were working on some editing stuff, you were editing some stuff off of it, so you need that speed, but you do have it backed up somewhere else. So there we go, that is the speed on RAID 0. Now let's go ahead and blow that away and create a RAID 1 array. So to remove the RAID, you select the RAID in Disk Utility, and then you say delete RAID, and then you click on delete, and then it goes ahead and deletes it, frees up the drives, and then you can recreate it in another way. While that's having a bit of a think, I will mention that on the box and in the specs they say that it's got a silent fan. Now, it's not silent, but it's not super loud. Something to keep in mind also is that the drives in there, if you've got spinning drives, they are making quite a bit of noise as well, and it will be a lot quieter if you have solid state drives in there. So that has finished blowing away that RAID. Now let's go ahead and create the type of RAID that you might use otherwise. So you could use mirrored, and the thing with mirrored, at least with the way that Disk Utility on the Mac does it at the moment, if I select 5 3 terabyte hard drives, which is what I've got here, and these are NAS specific ones, it's only going to let me make it 3 terabytes because it's only doing that one drive and backing it up onto the 4 others. I wonder, there's probably an option somewhere where you can make it not do that, but that's not really something I'm interested in. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to say create the concatenate JBOD, just a bunch of drives. Let's go with that one. And so this will give you a group of drives connected together. So it effectively, it's got those 5 drives, but it shows up as a single drive. So we go next, select the drives, and we're going to call this just disks, 15 terabytes, and well, it's just under 15, and I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with 64. Why not? Try that. And let's go ahead and next. It warns you it's going to delete everything on those drives. That's fine. I'm just using these drives for testing. One thing with the cable that it comes with is the cable is not particularly long. Now, having said that, it is a direct attached storage. So the idea is that it is going to be directly attached to your computer. So it is going to be there. If you find the fans or the noise of the hard drives is a little bit too loud for you, what I would suggest is the cable is definitely long enough that you can put the computer down on the ground. Keep in mind, I tell you this because I've done it myself. if you have a sit-stand desk and you put the desk into standing mode, make sure the cable's long enough to be long enough that it's still going to be attached even in the standing mode, because I've done that where I tell the table to go zzz, and it goes zzz, and everything's unplugged because I didn't keep in mind how not long those cables were. So that has completed, and now let's do a quick speed test on this one. And as you can see, you're not getting the fastest speeds out there, but this is sort of what you could expect. It will also depend on the drives that you're using. I'm not using the fanciest drives. I'm not using solid state drives. I did find with solid state drives, again, I got about the same speeds as a RAID 0 array with connected hard drives. So my final thoughts about the Orico 5-bay direct attached storage. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but for $189 for a 5-bay storage solution, it's still pretty darn good. I would say that you're not going to be editing 4K video off of this. I think you could probably edit 1080 video off of it, but I think more in terms of working off of it, I think if you were editing photos, absolutely no issue whatsoever. And it does afford you the ability to store huge amounts of data in a single place. If you're working on Windows, I think it's a bit easier to create that software RAID, and on Mac you might want to look at getting a third-party application so you can create a RAID which gives you more storage but also gives you a little bit of backup and redundancy built in as well, unless there is a way to do it with the built-in disk utility, and I just don't know how to do it, which is entirely possible. But yeah, there we go. That is a quick look at the Orico 97 series direct attached storage solution for $189 for the 5-bay one. They do also make a 3-bay one if you're looking for a cheaper or smaller one. Yeah, I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was useful. If it has been helpful or useful, please like and subscribe to the channel to see more. If you've already subscribed to the channel, thank you so much for your support, and we'll catch you on the next one. Safe and happy driving.